Today we continue with our class laws of Yom Tov. We start with Sefer Chofetz Chaim. And today's big topic is the same for victims' benefit. And today's topic is informing. And it says, the second category of constructive purpose is to help those who have been adversely affected by the suspect behavior. Okay, so let's see. If one has personally witnessed a Jew causing monetary damage to another, to ensure that the victim will be compensated is a constructive purpose. It would therefore be permitted to relate what has transpired. After asserting that the facts are correct, and after having spoken with the perpetrator, one must determine what will result from relating the information and whether or not halacha justify affecting that result. So here is a very good example when speaking for constructive purpose. So you were you're a witness of some crime, right? Let's say financial crime, monetary crime. One Jew did to another Jew. Okay, very interesting. Right, so first, of course, since you're the only witness, and the Beis Din is not going to accept testimony of the single witness, so you try to talk to perpetrator and tell him, like psychologically, press a little. You see, yeah, you know what, I was there, I saw what you did. So look, I'm not going to tell this guy, but it would look good on you if you come to that person and say, I did it, and try to make some kind of restitution, come to some kind of agreement. So it would be the best, right? Or he said, if it's not visible, so try to see if information that you're going to provide to the victim is going to help and somehow, right? Okay, so let's see. In civilized society, the straightforward way of dealing with a crime is to inform the authorities. Okay. However, reporting one's fellow Jew to secular officials may result in his facing punishment undeserved according to the Torah. Imprisonment, for example, is not acceptable means of punishment for the monetary infractions by Torah standards. Providing information that might lead to a Jew imprisonment could therefore constitute malshinos, an act of being malshin, informer. Only if it is clear that the individual is dangerous and poses the threat to others can he be spoken against for the sake of protecting others from harm. Such matters are extremely sensitive and complex, and deemed consulting with the competent halachic authorities. So let's do this part one more time. We're going to explain line by line. So you were a witness of somebody did something, like somebody scratched somebody's car. Okay. So one more time, in civilized society, a straightforward way of dealing with a crime is to inform the authorities. So they call police and say, I saw like this person, let's say such and such license plates, he scratched this in this car. Okay. That's a straightforward way, right? But that's not what we do. However, reporting one's fellow Jew to secular authority officials may result in his famous punishment undeserved according to the Torah. So, we see in society, in modern society, many times person will go to prison for monetary crimes, like 1 month, 2 months, 10 years, 20 years, lifetime, right? So, but it's not true according to the Torah. According to the Torah, if he stole, he has to return double or 4 times. I mean, now we don't have 4 times. Now we don't even have 5 times. Now we don't have even double, because double is a penalty. So he just has to return everything. So, but there is no prison according to Torah law. There is a like temporary imprisonment until the court's hearing, but it's like very, very like a short period of time, right? So, and a person, we know that the person who informs on one Jew who informs on another Jew to the authorities, he has no place in the world to come, which is a big deal. You understand? So unless somebody is a criminal, he's a pedophile, he's a rapist, he's I don't know, drug user. I mean, he's selling drugs to children, stuff like that. Then yes, and call him to the Beis Din for sure is not going to help, right? But in all of the monetary issues, yeah, you have to go to the Beis Din. Okay. One second. Let me check if I missed something. No. Okay. So that's it. So basically, because of the monetary law, we don't go to secular court, but of course you try to go to the Beis Din, and let's say they called this guy 2 times, and he did not show up, or 3 times. I don't know what is I think 2 or 3 times. He did not show up. So Beis Din can give you a letter, official letter, allowing you to go to secular court and sue this guy. Okay, stop here. No problem. So we continue with laws of Yom Tov, and we are still on what is it, like introduction, and we go. It's very interesting. We go this introduction is very deep. Explain that the soul of all of the holidays, like how. Like what do we need to feel, right? What this holiday is about, what is the atmosphere, and how to prepare for them, and etc. So let's see. So last time we finished on discussing Pesach. So now we go into Shavuos, which is the second holiday. It took those of us who left Egypt 7 grueling weeks of intense preparation in the desert to understand that our common goal is not what unites us. Rather, the fact that we are literally one being in what gives birth to that goal. The Jews are as one man with one heart. It's actually from Shmos 19:2. Only when we realize that togetherness is the sine qua non of non-existence, of our existence, and is attainable only by clinging to one God and His teachings, did HaShem give us Torah. We immediately put everything aside, and for the next 40 years did nothing but study it. No wonder that we are known the people of the book. We stepped into history as a gigantic yeshiva. This is one gigantic yeshiva. So let's do this piece and we're going to explain. So it took those who left Egypt 7 grueling weeks of intense preparation in a desert to understand. Okay, so before we can do so, from Pesach to Shavuos, 49 days. So Shavuos is always on the 50th day. About Pesach, it says it's on the 14th of Nisan, right? In the evening, right, which is 15th. But about Shavuos, it never says what day is it. Why? Because we're counting from Pesach. Okay, from the second day of Pesach. Okay. So in the Kabbalistic explanation is that we fell so low in Egypt to 49th level of Tuma, which is spiritual impurity, and we have to rectify it. And and each day is was taken to rectify one level of impurity. So of course it's very fast. Of course we understand that, but that's what it is. So you cannot go like all the way from the darkness into the light. Even in a physical world, our sages say it's actually from Shol HaMoed. In Yetzer Hara also discuss it, that if you go like suddenly from light into darkness, or from darkness into light, you can it's going to affect your vision very badly. right? So in order not to do that, they say Shulchan Aruch said you have to open. So let's say you're in the darkness, you have to open door a little, so get adjusted. Your vision get adjusted. You open more, and then you go to the light. And that's why HaShem make this sunset, right? Very gradual, and sunrise also very gradual, so not to affect our vision. It's very interesting. Okay, so everything needs time. So we needed 49 days to prepare for receiving of the Torah. So to understand that our common goal is not what unites us. Okay, so common goal is not what unites us, right? Rather, the fact that we are literally one being is what gives birth to the goal. So it's not like we all separate and have one goal, but it's opposite. We are united, like one being, and that is our goal. Okay, and that brings us to our goal. We Jews are one man with one heart. Right, that's ideal. One man with one heart, meaning one man with one heart, meaning that if somebody is suffering from Jewish people, so you feel the pain. That's one man, one body. Or opposite, if somebody is they have a good time or something enjoy, so you also should be happy for that person because it's like part of you. Why shouldn't I? Only when we realize that togetherness is a sine qua non for our existence and attainable only in clinging to our God. So this togetherness, it's not like togetherness is only attainable by clinging to our God. So and His teaching. So we can unite only based on the Torah, not because we're all Jews and we have to accept each other despite everything. No, it's not unity. It's a unity that is going to fail sooner than later. I would say sooner. So togetherness, again, it's that what unites us, right, about one God and His teachings. Did HaShem give us His Torah, right? So three things, right? God, His teachings, and the Torah is the same. Okay. We immediately put everything aside for the next 40 years and nothing but studied. So when we were in the desert, well, what else we could do? We had a lot of time, free time. Didn't have to work for living, right? The man would come, would fall from the sky. The well would follow us. So there was sustenance and basically, yeah. No lackings whatsoever. So we were occupying ourselves with studying Torah for 40 years. No wonder that we are known as a people of the book. We stepped into the history one gigantic yeshiva. Okay, it is true. So one of the explanation for the spies, so they say no, when we were going to go to Eretz Israel, I mean explanation in their favor. Of course, that's what they were not supposed to do, but explanation in their favor that they want to learn Torah as long as possible, right? So they understood that if they would go to the land right away, so now we would have to cultivate the land, and it's going to diminish our Torah study a lot, and that's why they devised this report, which is we understand where they're coming from, but that's you don't do calculation based like against HaShem. HaShem said it's good, you're going in, so He would find us time to learn Torah. So the whole 7th year, actually, the Shemitah year, one of the explanations for Shemitah year, so we can study Torah. Right? You cannot work the land, you cannot prune the trees, nothing. Right? No improvement, so you can study Torah the whole year. So continue. In Eretz Israel, the mitzvah to settle the entire country no longer allowed us to dwell in the same close proximity as before. However, the Torah's directive to visit with HaShem in a Beis HaMikdash and re-experience a Gan Eden oneness we enjoy in a desert effectively neutralize our enemy's fatigue and every other form of impediment. We travel to Yerushalayim in a great joy, rich with teachings that Yom Tov impairs, namely, that nothing can thwart our determination to serve HaShem. That is to attain the sublime state of eternal oneness with God and His people. So let's try to understand this paragraph. So from the beginning, then we're going to explain. In Eretz Israel, the mitzvah to settle the entire country no longer allows us to dwell in the same close proximity as before. So when we were in a desert, the whole camp, if I remember correctly, was 12 mil by 12 mil. Right? It was, meaning the people were concentrated very much. They were live very, very close by to each other. Right? But when we came to the land of Israel, so it was huge land. Right? So we have to settle, the mitzvah was to settle the land. Because when you work the land, you need a place for the fields, and it's preferable to live next to the fields or not too far from the fields. So it would be more convenient. So people start spreading around, right, and live much further away from each other. Okay. However, the Torah directive to visit with HaShem in a Beis Hamikdash and re-experience Gan Eden oneness, we join in a desert. Okay, so let's stop here. So when we were in a desert, we have so if somebody would want to eat meat, like for personal use, right? Just personal meat, no sacrifice. So we're not allowed to. We had to bring a sacrifice, I guess Shalamim offering, and some would go to the Kohanim, some would go to altar, these fats and other things, right? And the rest would be eaten by the owner. Right, but because why? Because as we just said, we were living very close to the Mishkan in the desert. But when we were in Eretz Israel, so that's it. It's too far. So if I want to eat meat, I would have to travel like a few weeks, going back and forth, a few weeks one way, a few weeks another way, just to shech my cow and take the full family there. It's not practical. So that's why one of the reasons we were given permission to do shechita in the places where we live. Okay. But still, right, so we would go to the Beis Hamikdash to experience Gan Eden oneness. As we said last time, there is special feeling like out of this world that people felt in Yerushalayim, right? And one of the explanations we said last time or the time before that on the expression, so nobody complained it was 20 people in Yerushalayim. Why? Because they enjoyed it so much that this experience was so pleasant. So this few inconveniences did not bother people. Okay. So one more time, and we experienced the Gan Eden oneness. We enjoyed the desert effectively. In the desert, effectively neutralize enemy's fatigue, right? And every other form of impediment. Okay, so basically, enjoy in the desert effectively neutralize our enemy's fatigue. Okay, and every other form of impediment. So we didn't have any issues basically going there. As we said before, HaShem said, you go in there, you're going to Yerushalayim, I'm going to protect. Okay, to protect your property. We travel to Yerushalayim with a great joy, rich with teachings that the Yom Tov imparts. So the people were coming in the columns, and it was with a musical instrument. Everybody's dressed up, so it was unbelievable just to travel with all of the pilgrims. Right, teaching, okay. Namely, that nothing can thwart the determination to serve HaShem. So meaning that people were walking despite all of the heat, especially in Shavuos. 1 year we decided to go to on Shavuos to Yerushalayim. It was very hot, very, very, very hot. So it's like it's like mid of June, I think, plus minus. Right? This in Yerushalayim it's very hot. So right, so people had to walk and under open sun, no air conditioner. But this, right? But this did not stop, right? That nothing can thwart the determination to serve HaShem, because we're going to serve HaShem. We're going to greet the Shekhinah. There is to attain the sublime state of eternal oneness with God and His people. So where the special place in Yerushalayim, when they all unite, God and His people. Continue. And even today, the power of the Torah to unify its worldwide community of students visible to all. So what unites Jews? Not the type of the food that they eat, but actually the Torah. That's our common common goal and common thing that unites us. As mentioned, we live as minorities, scattered hither and thither over the face of the earth, subject to all assimilatory forces which tears us apart, as which unfortunately have taken a toll, and yet to take but one example of many. One of the first night of Pesach, every knowledgeable Jew can be found seated and learning in a linen position at the meal. Everyone calls the Seder, discussing the same Exodus, eating the same unsalted matzah. I don't know why I say unsalted, okay. I mean, why he said unsalted, okay. The same bitter herbs, the same festive meals, and the fowl, with one of its roasted, with none of its roasted, we're going to explain, drinking a minimum of 4 cups of wine, each one at designated intervals, in addition to fulfilling a host of other obligations which are unique to this night alone. So it's a lot of material here, so let's do it again. We're going to explain. So the topic again, that how Torah unites all of the Jews. And even today, power of the Torah to unite or to unify the worldwide community of the students is visible to all. So students, it's not like students literally, but all students, right? Visible to all. As mentioned, we live in as minorities, scattered here and there of the face of the earth, right? So like there are pockets here, the bigger pockets, smaller pockets of the community, but it's people, Jews always move, always on the move. Some neighborhood became very popular in a place where I live, not too far, let's say, not too far. So Jews decided to move there, and the place was like quiet like suburbs. And suddenly the Jews would come and start knocking at the people's door and say, I want to buy your house, cash. Can you move out tomorrow? So, and some people were getting like 20% more money that they would get from other people. And some people start selling, and these other people, other Jews, become very aggressive because they want to move in. And some non-Jews, they were very upset, and they actually made a law so you're not allowed to knock at the door and ask if they want to sell. So it's a law in a few towns, right? So if you do that, they're going to arrest you. I think it's even prison time if somebody do that. That's anti-Semite. They don't want to sell, right? It's very interesting, right? So Jews are always on the move, right? So but the pockets, bigger pockets, smaller pockets. But unfortunately, as he said, subject to all assimilatory forces, right, which tears us apart, right? So you're a small pocket among the non-Jews, of course, as we said many times yesterday, right? We discussed it. They're going to affect whether you want it or not. And you're going. And unfortunately, somebody, I don't want to say you, that was not me, but people become like neighbors, unfortunately. And which unfortunately unfortunately have taken toll, as we know. People assimilate and they quit or never even start. And yet to take but one example of many, right? So, okay, so now what unites us? The first night of Pesach, every knowledgeable Jew can be found sitting in learning position at the meal, a linen position. So every Jew, like they say knowledgeable Jew, sitting in linen position, so it'll be lean on the left. So everybody knows that we lean on the left, and if you drink wine with 4 obligatory cups without leaning, you have to drink again. If you eat matzah without leaning, you have to eat again. So that's in my house. When I do the seder, I make sure that before we start, I tell everybody must lean, must, right? Okay. So that's what unites us. The first night of Pesach, every knowledgeable Jew can be found seated in leaning position at the meal. Everyone calls the Seder. So everybody knows that this night, this procedure is called the Seder, discussing the same Exodus. Everybody have exactly the same text, whether you read Hebrew in the different language, that does not matter, but story is exactly the same. Eating the same unsalted matzah. So there is machine matzah, there is handmade matzah, but bottom line, that's the main food. The same bitter herbs. Okay, it's not the same, like a little different. Few opinions what can you use, but the bottom line is the same, right? You eat bitter herbs. The same festive meals and fowl. So and they say he sell the fowl, meaning we don't eat roasted food, roasted meat. Why we don't eat roasted meat and even chicken? Because why? Because that was food of Pesach, right? Pesach sacrifice. So not to imply that maybe we eaten from the Pesach sacrifice. So on Pesach we don't eat roasted meat, right? So only cooked. Okay, continue. Drinking minimal of 4 cups of wine. Right, so that's what unites. So everybody do exactly the same. Each one at designated intervals. Right, so like when it says in Haggadah do that. So like some people, like for many years, I was surprised. They were doing Pesach their own style. They would prepare some Dvar Torah, and they would eat matzah and drink 4 cups of wine whenever they want, and that's it. And then I don't know why. In one class, I just mentioned that. It's not a big deal to do like Seder by yourself. You just buy yourself Haggadah with a commentary, with explanation. You read before Pesach like few times, prepare, and you can conduct like Seder in your house. You don't have to be big expert. Just read the book, follow the instruction, and that's it. So it's for some people like at least 2 or 3 cups. It was very big surprise. That's that we actually have a procedure. It's not like do whatever you want. That's very interesting, right? In addition to fulfilling the host of other obligation, which is unique to this night alone, right? So we pour the 5th cup for Eliyahu Navi. We open the door. There is a special text. We have the Afikaman that we did then. So all of these beautiful things, but everybody do exactly the same. And that night is, as the author says, it's one of the things that unite us. Okay, continue. Although the various communities have different customs and different, in many secondary facets of the Torah and life, all agree that the basic principle of the Torah, as manifest in a worldwide conformity to the complex Seder procedure. Okay. There is no way to explain this other than the Torah scholars in every country study the same Holy Torah, and the Torah by nature unites. As Chazal say, Talmidei Chachamim increase shalom in the world, because the entire Torah was given to make shalom in the world. In other words, the entire Torah was given to make God visible. Because shalom is one of Hashem's names. Okay, so let's do this one more time, and we're going to explain. All the various communities we have different customs. So Sephardi communities, Ashkenazi community, Litvish community, Hasidish, different Hasidish have different customs. But it's only custom. It's like only like some minor things. The main thing is always the same matzah, up to 18 minutes, and it's a shmura matzah, not shmura matzah. But the main thing absolutely the same, right? So one more time, all of the various communities have different customs. and differ in many secondary facets of the Torah life. Again, it's only secondary, it's nothing in the primary. Our primary is exactly the same. All agree on the basic principles of the Torah, right? As many said, the worldwide conformity with the complex Seder procedure. So, and how do we know that everybody agree in on the basic principle of the Torah? You see that the Seder, exactly everybody start exactly at the same time. I mean, according to location where they live, and according the procedure is exactly the same. I mean, some people do like some symbolic acts, but otherwise it's exactly the same. There is no way to explain this other than the Torah scholars in every country study the same Holy Torah. So all of the Torah scholars, doesn't matter where they are, they study exactly the same Torah, and then they can meet and they discuss this Torah, right? And Torah unites, and Torah by nature unites, and that's the beauty of the Dafayomi, right? When people learn one page of Talmud every day. I mean, if they actually learn, if they just listen and sleep and or check their phone, of course it's useless. But if they actually learn this page, so they can meet somebody, another Jew who learns exactly the same page, and they have some common things to talk to. So if I learn this book and somebody learn another book, okay, we can exchange the ideas, but it does not mean that he would know what I'm talking about because I just learned, and I would not understand exactly what he's. I would not be very familiar with his topics if it's like deep inside. But when they do the same page, everybody in the whole world, so that's actually one of the things that shows as proof that Torah unites. As Chazal say, Talmidei Chachamim increase Shalom in the world, right? So because one of the names of HaShem is Shalom, is a peace, and Talmidei Chachamim is their learning of Torah, and they bring peace, right? And that's why in the army of David HaMelech, they had half of the army fighting and half of the army studying Torah. Just one second. Because the Torah gives, because the Torah was given to make shalom in the world. So Torah was given to bring the peace in the world. In other words, the entire Torah was given to make God visible, because shalom is Hashem's name. Okay, that's why because of all of the wars because of this animosity, so Hashem's name is not visible, and that's the only legitimate reason to want Mashiach to come. To want Mashiach to come, so everybody would understand that Hashem is one and His name is one, right? That's what we need to be zealous of. Okay, continue. Last holiday, Succos. Bitachon in HaShem is a source of all joy. Therefore, Succos, the material form of clouds of glory that protected us from every human, animal, and atmospheric adversary, is also the reason of giving joy. Okay, so it's actually the whole paragraph. So let's see what does it mean. Okay, so Succos is the last holiday. Bitachon in Hashem is the source of all joy. So what is Bitachon? Bitachon is a trust in Hashem. So when you trust in Hashem, so what is the source of all joy? That you don't have anxiety. You know that He's running the world. He has your best interest in mind, and everything I have to do is my job, my purpose in the world, and He's going to do the rest. So it's just a matter of time, right? Therefore, Succos is material form of the clouds of glory. So why is it Succos material form of clouds of glory? So Succos is first of all, it's in the fall when you gather all of the the produce inside. You have all of your wine, all of this, like all of the vegetables, all of the. By this time, I think all of the animals were given birth. So you see, like how you have bread, you see all of these beautiful things, material things that Hashem will bless you with, right? So it's cloud of glory. So you feel this cloud of glory. that protects us from every human, right? So meaning that HaShem protects from every human. We know how many enemies we have, animal and atmospheric adversaries. So that's where 7 clowns in a desert, and that's what one of the representative of Sukkah. When you see it in Sukkah, what you have to think about that it's like it should remind us of these 7 clowns of glory in the desert. Right? It is also our season of great joy. So in about Sukkah it says you have to be happy. Continue, next paragraph. We mentioned in the midst of Sukkah because we had a total trust in HaShem. As the prophet says, I recall for you the kindness of your youth, the love of your nuptials. You're following me into the wilderness, into unknown land. Thus Chazal said, he who never saw the Simchas Beis Shoava, the all-night celebration of Succos, never saw the joy in his life. The ecstasy experienced by the millions who witnessed this soul-stirring event was so captivating that no man slept in a bed on Succos. So let's try to understand what it says here. Okay, so one more time from the beginning. We mentioned the mitzvah of Sukkah because we had total trust in HaShem. So meaning, what was it? We had total trust in HaShem. So Sukkah is something that you usually build outside of your house. So some people have inside of the house, but it's not the same experience. You go outside, you build, and you live in your comfortable house with air conditioner. It depends where you live. So I saw some people in England. Actually, it's very cold. So they were sitting in winter jackets. So it's very cool. I'm not sure if it's north of England. I'm not sure, but it's not very pleasant. But in the south, it's very hot. It's very hot. So where I live, it's also sometimes it's very hot, but sometimes it's not so much. So it's tolerable. So let's see, right? But so the Bitachon of HaShem is because we leave our comfortable house and we go out. All of this skach that you have to see the stars, and the rain must penetrate. If rain does not penetrate, it's not kosher skach, it's not kosher sukkah. So that's what total trust in HaShem means. As prophet says, I recall for you the kindness of your youth, the love that you follow me into the wilderness. So HaShem said, I remember. So when I call, when you were young as a nation, and I called you and you went after me into the wilderness, into unknown land. So Hashem appreciates what we do here, our trust. So as we know, 80% of Jews did not trust him, and they left in Egypt to die. Thus Chazal say he who never saw the Simcha Beis Shoava, the all-night celebration of Succos. So in Succos, in a temple, they actually did the water libation. It's very interesting, and that's about this holiday, this procedure. They say that whoever who never saw this procedure never saw the joy of his life. So somehow it's very interesting when our sage describes something out of this world. So the atmosphere was full with joy, and everybody were on a cloud 9, right? The ecstasy experienced by the millions. So everybody. It's not like somebody drank. So nobody drinks in the Beis Hamikdash, right? It's not like it's these places when they have to drink half a bottle of vodka in order to dance, right? In order to be happy. No, there is no alcohol, right? Millions who witnesses this stirring event, and was so captivating that no man slept in a bed on Sukkos. That's crazy, right? No man. Sukkos is 7 days. And even in a galus, this happiness is visible. Although the warm home in late fall seem preferable to outdoor hut, anyone who ever sat in a sukkah even in a cold, feels joy way beyond what one would expect. Right, so let's do this paragraph again. So it says, even when in a galus. So today we don't have a basic English. Galus is where we live, not okay. And the happiness is visible. So you still like you build this sukkah with your own hands, or you sit in somebody else's sukkah. But you feel this something like some like joy comes from nowhere. Right, of course you have to read, you have to prepare, as we said many times. If you come to anywhere unprepared, you're not going to feel. Okay, so continue. Preferable outdoors hut. Anyone who ever sat in a sukkah, even in a cold, feel joy way beyond what one would expect. And it's proper actually for men to sleep in a sukkah. So right, you can always find like sleeping bag. So it's not that bad. So for example, when it's cold, I sleep in sleeping bag, and I cover with like over with the head, and no, that's it's actually tolerable. It's not that cold. It's not that bad. Moreover, if we did not have a complete faith in HaShem and His love, no one would gladly pay the outrageous price charged by lulav and esrog, items which are virtually worthless, the day after Yom Tov, just for the privilege of holding and shaking it for a few minutes each day. Who is in right material mind would spend from $36 to $500 for the pleasure of just holding an apple for a few minutes a day for a week? This would be impossible if every Jew would not positive, at least sublimely, that the Almighty is with us in Galus. So let's we're almost done this introduction. So let's try to understand this last paragraph. No, one before last. Moreover, if we did not have complete faith in HaShem, His love and His love, no one would gladly pay the outrageous price. So if we would not have faith in HaShem, and that's what He commanded us, and He said that's what we should do, right? Nobody would gladly pay outrageous price charged for lulav and esrog. So on lulav, on Succos, we have this mitzvah. One mitzvah is dwell in a sukkah. Another mitzvah is to take into hands 4 species. Right. So lulav and esrog. Lulav is a palm branch, right, and esrog is like a from a lemon family, right? Esrog, items which virtually worthless the day after the Yom. So a day after the Yom Tov, you can throw out like you try to sell the palm branch, especially if you live somewhere where there are many palms. You're not going to sell for sure, right? But esrog also, but some people I know some people buy and they do preserve, some they cook. I don't know. Okay, so they sell it as a lemon. I'm not sure. It's very, very cheap, probably, right? But during the holidays, it costs a lot. Before the holidays, it costs a lot. So as he said, items virtually worse the day after Yom Tov, just for the privilege of holding and shaking a few minutes every day. So it's it's few minutes while you're saying blessing, and then the second time when you're saying Hallel. That's it in the morning. That's the whole purpose, right? Just one second. Who is in his right mind would spend from $36 to $500? And 36, I'm not sure when this book was written, but I think very long time ago. Let me see, one second edition. I don't know when it was revised, but doesn't matter. Long time ago. So $36. Actually, in the place where I live, the prices dropped. Believe it or not, like because there are so many people who wants to sell, and most of the sellers are young kids. Bar mitzvah, some of them below bar mitzvah. Of course, there is one dealer, adult, and he gives them esrogim, but most of them are kosher. I mean, I saw some not kosher, but like majority, I would say 95% or more, 97% of that I saw And I try to look at everything that is available before I pick, so they were kosher. And it's, very interesting. So from $30 to $500 for the pleasure of just holding apple for a few minutes, from a few days away. Of course, it's not apple, but the point he's trying to make, like, who would, like, if you say to a non-Jew, you're going to hold your palm branch and you go to have this lemon. It's not lemon, but let's say, and you're going to pay like I don't know, $50, $70. So you normally, like you Jews, you have to be smart. Why do you pay so much money? Just buy a lemon and that's it, right? This would be impossible if every Jew was not positive, at least subliminally, right? That the Almighty is Beezrat His Gals, meaning HaShem is watching and He's very happy with me to shake lulav, and everybody, of course, proudly like take it out a first time before shaking on the first day, and everybody is looking who is got the best one. It's very interesting. Even though everybody is adults, but they checking out other people love him and esrog. It's very interesting. In the merit of our devotion to Yom Tov, may HaShem have mercy upon us and swiftly bring us together in Yerushalayim to participate in the greatest celebrations of God's glory and the greatest joy. The world will have ever seen, the reason for which was created. Okay, so let's do this last paragraph. So it says, in the merit of devotion to Yom Tov. And as we know, just that HaShem is running the world measure for measure. So if you enjoy the Yom Tov in a galus, and even like it's hot, it's cold, and this and that, you have money, you don't have money, you have company, do not have company, and you enjoy it the best you can. So HaShem is measure for measure, is going to multiply your joy and bring it to Yerushalayim. Like people who are trying to do their best, so HaShem is going to open the, like for example, a person learning Torah and he does not understand, she does not understand. So this person is guaranteed, right, that in Olam Haba, in the world to come, they're going to be taught this exact Torah. And they're going to enjoy, right, because you will try. May HaShem have mercy upon us, swiftly bring us together in Yerushalayim. Why? Because that's what we want, to be together in Yerushalayim, to participate in a great celebration of God's glory. Right? That's why we go to Yerushalayim, to see the God's glory, to be part of the Jewish nation. And the greatest joy the world will have ever seen, the reason for which it was created. Meaning what? Hashem created everything in this world for His glory. Everything. Okay. So we finished with introduction. So based on Pachat Yitzchak by Maran Hagaon Rav Yitzchak Hutner Zatzal, Shmuel Elchanan Brock. So that's one of the greatest rabbi who ever lived in the United States before Rav Moshe Feinstein. Rabbi Rubenschlitt actually quoted few passages from this book, Pachat Yitzchak, from very deep insights. Okay, so the laws of Yom Tov. So let me quickly check what time is it. 1 second. The time is almost up. Do we have any questions on what we said or did not say? So we can go to the questions, I think. Anyone?
Rabbi?
Yes, we go to Daniel, straight to Daniel. Go ahead, Daniel, please.
Thank you, Rabbi. It was actually mentioned in the book, but it's like more like a general question as well. So how did the difference between the minchagim originated? Because, of course, Olam Israel follow the same Torah and everything, but there are, to me, like huge differences in some aspects. For example, the slichot like the Ashkenazim do not do 40 days in a row as Sephardic do, and some other ones that I don't have at the top of my head right now. So how did this difference between minchagim originated? Like,
it's actually, yeah, that's a very very good question. So this slichas, that's very interesting, right? So let me start with a story. So it was one of the Ashkenazic towns, and they sent the boy. So the guy was working, has his own like small shop, and he saved some money and sent his boy to yeshiva. So it was like very expensive, very like usually children would help in the shop, right, to run the business. But this boy, he went to yeshiva. He became so important in his own eyes, and he came back for Pesach. Usually there is no yeshiva on Pesach. So he came on Pesach and said, okay, so for Pesach and until the end of the summer. That was the procedure where he went back and then came back for the holidays. So he said, he came and said, no, I'm going to eat rice on Pesach. So everybody was shocked. Said, we Ashkenazi, we don't eat rice. No, he said, you it's not Ashkenazi, you are like you simpletons. I came from yeshiva. I'm going to eat rice because that's what is allowed. Okay, that's what is allowed. That's what is allowed. Okay, for you. So and nobody ate rice, of course, in the family, beside these guys, because it's a Sephardic tradition. And then the guy was like very proud of himself that he's very learned. And the Elul came. The months of Elul, so his father, said, son, get up. It's 4:30 in the morning. So what's going on? Why are you waking up? He said it's time for slichas. You eat rice on Pesach. You have to say slichas. You cannot go into two different minchag. So you say you follow Sefer, so follow Sefer. You eat rice. You say slichas the whole month. That's very interesting, right? So why about slichas? So that it depends on like how to interpret. You go by Shulchan Aruch. Shulchan Aruch says it's actually the whole month. Rima, which is Ashkenazic authority. I would not remember like from the top of my head the reasons, but it's based on the previous stages how they interpret the verses. So Sephardim say it's not actually Sephardic slicha is not very long. Just so it's not. Right, and I think it's the same. If I'm not mistaken, it's the same, almost the same. The whole month until Rosh Hashanah. Okay, so two part of slichas. One just so you know, one is from let's say for before Rosh Hashanah, and one between Rosh Hashanah. On Rosh Hashanah there is no slichas. So from the third day. From Tishrei until Yom Kippur, so two separate sets of slichas. It's almost very different texts. So Sephardim start from Elul, but Ashkenazim start from the week before the Motzei Shabbos, meaning after the Shabbos ends, on a week that Rosh Hashanah falls. But it cannot be, I think, less than 3 days or 4 days because of some verse. So if that is the case, so they start 1 week before that. So but Ashkenazic slichas very long, like to say maybe like 45 like almost 1 hour. For me it takes like around 1 hour to say the slichas. Other people, of course, they much faster, and that's it. And right, and every day it's a different theme. Like if you have time to read about the 12 insight, it's like every slicha is appropriate to that specific day. It's very very interesting. But that's it. So like they developed different. They went according to different Talmid Chacham. That's it. On the Sephardim when after one, Ashkenazim when after another. That's it. That's it. So, but the main point is Rosh Hashanah in the same day. We all blow the shofar on Shabbos. We don't blow the shofar, and the prayer is also a little different. Some pieces are the same, but they switch the places. But tune is different, the way they sing. But it's small things. The main thing is exactly the same. Okay, what else?
Thank you, Rabbi. Torah just made me realize that there's a lot of divine intervention between these differences, because whereas the Sephardic are shorter but are read during a longer period of time, the Ashkenazi one are longer but are read in a shorter period of time. So that kind of compensates. It's kind of balanced. So yeah, that I didn't have that in mind. That's great, actually. So jump into another question. This is of course out of ignorance. I don't know how is it done today, but back in the day when someone harms you or owed you money or something like that, and he didn't have enough money to pay you back, he would have to become your slave, and so on and so forth. But what is supposed to be done today in regards to these issues, considering that no one can become our slaves if they don't have money to pay us back? So how is it approached these days?
Mm-hmm. So first of all, I need to clarify. No, nobody will become a slave of anybody because of the debts. It's absolutely not true. It's not a non-Jewish world. That's what was happening. Only when somebody stole from somebody, that's stolen, he did not have the means to pay back. Only in that case, the Beis Din have to pay the victim, and they would sell this person, the thief, as a slave. And basically, who needs the thief, right? Who needs this lazy worker, right? So they many times this owner, this victim from whom this thief stole, he would buy this thief, not buy, but get him for free worker. But it was not exactly free. It was a lot of bother to have this slave. But today, it's about back then. But today is it's not much that we can do. So in all the days when you want to borrow the money, you have to put some collateral. You have an animal, you have a farm, you have a field, you have something, you have tools. You understand? So usually people would not lend you money until you have some collateral. Even today, unless you have a job or something, right? And you have some income, nobody's going to give you money if you go to the bank, or you have an apartment, or you have a apartment, house, or and you wanna you wanna take money and put your house as collateral, your apartment. Yeah, they're going to give you money. Why? Because if something, they can go collect your apartment, right? But today in a Jewish world, let's say somebody borrowed $50,000 from you, and he said he's going to pay you back, and he does not. So that's not much what you can do. I mean, you're taking the Beis Din, and the Beis Din, if he comes to Beis Din, let's say he comes, right, and he said, I don't have money. I had a business, I lost everything. Here's my bankruptcy statement. I mean, what do you want from me? So that's not much what we can do today. Right? So people usually lend somebody when collateral, or don't lend. I mean, if the person is not poor, so every time, for example, when somebody asks me for a loan, so I would give a loan, but in my mind, I would say if he if he cannot pay, it would be like a tzedakah, right? So I would not even consider. But one very righteous person that I know, and in some sense I consider him my friend. It's friend is what is the definition of friend? Friend is somebody who is going to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. And this person is very honest, and when needs to criticize, he would criticize me, and it's very constructive, very helpful. And right, so he borrowed, and he's very poor person, very honest person, and he's being very poor, very honest. He collects money for people who is more poorer than him, who struggle with even more than him, and he always smile. The guy is has all of the diseases possible, and he always smile. And I never seen him without smile. This person, I don't know. So Baruch HaShem. So he borrowed money from me a few times because not for personal use, to help somebody in a great need from tzedakah. And he borrowed money. I said, okay. I mean, to myself, to my wife, I said, if he never going to pay me back, let it be tzedakah. But he actually did pay me back, and he did not forget. You understand? Like it was much later than he promised, like few years later. But he paid back. But I gave all of this money to tzedakah because that's how I promised. And I didn't give it to him to his tzedakah, but whatever he gave me back, I gave it to tzedakah. Right? But if you're not ready to do that, if you know that the person is not honest, and some people they had in the clouds. Yes, he said, I'm going to start business. I'm going to make 50% in the first year. Okay, so if you have a person like that, don't lend them money. I mean, you're not obligated. If somebody's poor, yeah, you give him, but give him like with the intention, so like maybe he never going to pay you back.
Thank you, Rabbi.
That's the thing. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, well, I have more questions, but I don't know if someone else has.
Okay, so let's ask. Anybody else have any questions? Any topic? Okay, no one. So go ahead. Yeah.
Thank you, Rabbi. So, okay. So considering the only way a person can truly change is through Torah, can we say that those who have no idea about Torah but seem to apparently change their behavior in a positive way without any Torah involved are only faking it, and their so-called new behavior is just a hoax? Or is there like a real way to change without Torah besides experience these tragedies and traumatic events? This is very
so this those changes, it's a very, very good question. Those changes, even if they somehow resemble, like by accident, the way of the Torah, they're not stable. There is no base. The guy thinks that he's doing something, or the girl thinks that she's doing something extra. So in their mind, they are very righteous. But in the mind of the Torah, it's a normal behavior. Here, in a sense that before that it's abnormal, and I changed whatever I did. Now I'm normal according to HaShem. So, but when this changes based on a Torah perspective, based on your Torah knowledge, you're not going to go back so easily. But when you invest so much, when you suffer so much, struggle so much to get to the place where you get, you're never not going to fall so easily. You understand? For example, I'll give you an example about myself. I used to smoke when I was in my 20s, and then I quit. And sometimes, I wanted to smoke like somebody smoke, and I like the smell. So and then I said, look, you did not smoke like for 5 years. Now, if you take if you smoke like a little, like even one time, you would not be able to say that I haven't smoked for 5 years, and then 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. So for me, it's like I would not be able to say that I quit smoke many years ago. You understand? Because even if I try only once, so that's a person who overcame many difficulties. It's the same. So it's not like some crazy desire to be different. No, that's based on the Torah. HaShem expect me to be like that, and that's why I changed. I'm not going back. Mm-hmm. You understand? But people without Torah, they go this way, that way, because they compare it to the same to the society. According to society, I'm very holy, but according to Torah, maybe not so much. It's also many things that depend on your kavana, right? Why exactly you're doing things. Okay. So that's the thing. Yes. So if you work on that, if you invest a lot, you're not going to fall so easily. Mm-hmm. That's the difference.
Yes. Thank you, Rabbi. Yeah, and when there's no real Yirat Shamayim, if the person that has no concept about this, like, it's really hard for anyone to change, even someone that is involved into Torah. Like, I said, because I say constantly a bunch of Christians that they claim to change because they received JC Penney in their heart, and some time passes and they apparently change their behavior, but yeah, so I mean, you can actually see that it's all fake. It's very hard. It's very easy to spot.
It's not. I would not call it fake, but there's no solid foundation. So they affected something like they hear that they're going this leaning this way. They hear that different. They're going to lean another way. So there is no basic foundation. Like a solid foundation. So if you have solid foundation and you work on it, and it's like in your mind, I'm not going to spend one extra minute. Like some we have on YouTube, somebody tried to debate me. I say, well, debate me? You go see Rabbi Mizrahi the debate. Well, why do you debate me? Like, who am to debate? Like, we're over this. I'm not into debate. I'm not going to argue with anybody. Like somebody like leave these crazy commenters. We just send them some information. They want to listen. They listen. They do not want to listen. They don't listen. You understand? There are so many people write these beautiful messages to us that they want to convert. They want to come close. The lady wrote to us, my mother is a Jew, but father is not, but I feel 100% Jew. So I didn't have time to respond. It's from yesterday, before yesterday. You 100% Jew. What is the 50%? But in society, that's what it is. 50%, 25%, 75%. You understand? So we try to help people like that who is on the way. But start from scratch. Somebody wants to debate me about Yoshka. Who needs that? You understand? I give you all the information. You want to listen, you listen. You want to improve, you improve. If not, I'm not anybody's babysitter. You understand?
Yes, absolutely. So I have one last question.
Go ahead.
In regards to Psalms 91, there's this part that says, I believe it says, Kihu Yasilecham Mipach Yakush Mideber Chavot. I guess it says that he's gonna protect us from a trap that is set. And then I've been thinking about this. So the Yetzer Hara, he's kind of keen on making us go through tests that we are not going to pass. Because if there's a prayer, like there's a psalm, so there's a way to ask for HaShem to protect us from these traps, which in essence are tests. So is the Yetzer Hara constantly it's kind of looking for us to fall into tests that we cannot pass? Is that what the sense, more or less, of this sentence mean? Okay,
so that's what a very good question. It was also one more comment that I did not respond, because it's like it's not a simple response. So many people have this idea. I'm going to answer your question, but many people have this idea that there is a HaShem and there is Satan, and Satan is against HaShem. So it's so far from truth. Like it's basically, if a person learn Torah a little more diligently, he would say that's nonsense. The Satan is angel of HaShem, right? So Yetzer Hara is a Satan, and he's Malach HaMavet, he's angel of death, and he's a prosecutor. So he has three roles. First, he makes all of the, as you said, he creates all of the traps for us. When Chas v'Shalom person falls for this trap, he brings his case and prosecute in the heavenly court. And then when the times comes, where they say in heavenly court, said, okay, this guy's out, that's it. He fell so many times, he's out. So he comes and he takes the soul of the person. That's his job. One part. Second part, when HaShem said that he saw that the world was good during creation, and he said do good twice. Why he said do good twice? The day our sages explained, the day where he created Yetzer Hara, because Yetzer Hara is actually good for us. So how is it good? Because the only way to advance for us is to overcome the test. So if you, for example, you're in a company, right, and you're working, so even they say we have such an opening in a company, let's say, and you always dream about this job, whatever job is. So and they give you tests. Are you good? Are you capable of taking this job? And let's say the pay is 30% more. So is the test bad or good? No, it's good, because if you pass the test, you're going to get a better job. So same is here in our life. The test shows like are you prepared? So are you prepared? So because people say emunah bitachon when there's a lecture about emunah bitachon, there is 500 people like watching, I don't know, like all this crazy thing, and we say laws of Yom Tov, 3 people. So why is that? Because but when the real tests come, all of the emunah bitachon people, they're not there. They don't have emunah, and they don't have bitachon, and they forgot or everything that they learned in that lecture. You understand? So the point is that that Satan, right? He creates for us obstacles, and these obstacles is a training. So the more you go through the obstacle, the more that you train yourself. And when there is a big obstacle, so you're not going to fall. Why? Because you have already experienced. You understand? You have already experienced how to overcome this obstacle, and you have this past experience. I went through, and last time or the time before that, it was so bad. I thought I'm going to die, I'm going to fail, but I pushed myself. I went through, and guess what happened to me? I got to the next higher spiritual level. So is it bad? No, it's not bad. But we have to understand it's real, and the test is real, but we have to overcome it. No matter what, and we ask HaShem, like when you were in the middle of the test, everything is dark. It's like it's never going to finish. The situation never going to finish, never ever, and probably you're going to die like that, right? And you ask HaShem for help, like not to remove this obstacle. Obstacle is there, but to give you the hope, to show you like a little hope that is going to finish soon. Yeah. You understand? And when HaShem said, okay, the Satan, okay, that's enough. You test him, go away. Go test somebody else. This guy is good. This lady is good. She overcame, so leave him alone. And that's what we ask HaShem. Some help. Some help to overcome this test. But tests are good for us. If a person does not have tests, meaning he's dead, or HaShem gave up on him. So all of these rich people who have all of the good life, all of the good, meaning what? HaShem gave up for them. He said, "Here's the money. I don't want to hear from you. Like you don't pray for money. Don't pray for health. Don't pray for children. I give you children. I gave you money. I gave you everything. So go away from me. Why? Because I gave you everything. You don't have a Olam Haba, right? You don't have the world to come with me. So that's what it is. But if person goes through the tribulation, it means HaShem trying to steer us to the right way. As David HaMelech said, HaShem, you're my stick and my staff. So stick and staff, it's like physically the same thing, right? But stick is something like to point the animal to veer the animal to the right direction, right? To steer the animal to the right direction. And staff, something like you can lean on. So it's but stick and staff. So it's HaShem. It's stick and staff. He's the one. So the support comes from HaShem, and this steering comes from HaShem. That's if we starting from me, right? Take into our consideration. So the life would be much more easier. No worries, no stress. I mean, you go through the same tribulation, but no stress. You understand? Hashem is thick, Hashem is tough, and guess what? After I finish this test, I'm going to get the big reward. As I told, I don't know if I say, when I was applying to my job, so I had before I started working, so like right after school, I have several job interviews. All of them was like 4 hours. One of them was 6.5 hours. Like I spent the whole working day there. I spoke to 7 people. You understand? Took several exams. That's if you want a good job, that's what you do. You understand? That's what you do. If you want to go like a delivery, I don't know, even I don't know, to work in some fast food, let's say not kosher, McDonald's, I don't know. They take everybody. They pay minimum, and there are no tests. Even if you they ask you if you can sign your name, that's good. But otherwise, they not ask you like a very very like a complicated question or give you like different. No, you take the burgers to turn upside down, and that's it. Like, you understand? So that's tests are good. That's it.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Yes, you're welcome.
This answer has just completely changed my mindset in regards to these specific daily. I mean, of course, other prayers where we ask Hashem not to put us to the test, but in reality, we're asking Him to help us pass it.
Exactly.
In essence, Baruch Hashem.
Yes.
Yeah, because Hashem kind of reduces the judgment in regards, or reduces kind of the intensity when these tests kind of come sometimes. Like we can read about the nature of these demons in Psalms 25 when David HaMelech says to Hashem that my enemies hate me with, I guess it says vicious hatred. They hate me viciously, like they only looking to harm me. And Hashem in essence is, of course, by helping us pass these tests, He's of course reducing all the intensity that these demons are attacking us. Yes. Thank you very much, Rabbi.
Yes.
Much more clear now in my head. Baruch Hashem.
Absolutely, Baruch Hashem. I'm very glad. It's very glad. That's what. But it's only not only one time. We have to remind ourselves over and over and over. This is going to pass. Okay. So and I always tell people, write down the things. Make a notebook. Like read what happened 1 year ago, 2 years ago, 7 years ago. When you were down, you thought that you were. And I worked with some people who are suicidal, and they call me, like they leave me a message. I woke up in the middle of the night. I have 7 messages. One message was 1.5 hour long. I said, "You normal? Maybe a person forgot to turn off the button." No, but the person was suicidal. He left me all of the messages. So and I told them, Baruch Hashem, we were able to help that person. And I told them, just write down whatever you went through, because if it's going to happen, if I'm not available or somebody not available, so you can read what you went through and how Hashem saved you. You understand? But Yetzer Hara makes us forget what happened. Like situation was much worse. Like a few months ago, 2 years ago, 7 years ago. So that's why we have to remind ourselves about miracles that Hashem did for us. Okay, what else?
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Can I ask not a question, but
go ahead.
Recommendation?
Yes, please.
Like I see a lot of secrets, of course, in Tehillim. I'm very curious about it, but I don't know about a book that kind of has like commentaries on Tehillim. I don't know if people have.
There is I have to look up. I think there is a medrash on Tehillim. Medrash Rabbah on Tehillim. I think so. They go into each Tehillim like it's like in a style of the Medrash Rabbah. So it's almost like a Talmud. it's a discussion. So it's a Medrash Rabbah. Just so you know, if somebody wants deep learning, that's available on ArtScroll, and you buy any volume, whatever is like parasha you like very much. For example, in one class I will learn the story of Yosef, right? The story of we finished Yosef. So now we went to Yehuda and Tamar, the whole story. I mean, that's a story of Yosef. So it's very slow because there are a lot of details, all of the insights. It's mind blowing. So that's it's written in simple language on one hand. On the other hand, a lot of information and insight, and if you want something sweet, something very enjoyable, so that's very, very recommended. And there is, we actually finished in that class, Medrash Rabbah. We started with Megillah Ruth. It's something like out of this world. Megillah Ruth. It's like this thick. Of course, there is Hebrew and English, but it's many pages, many pages. Okay. I think that they have the same on Tehillim, if I'm not mistaken. Okay.
Hey, Rabbi, I'll look it up.
Yeah, look up on artscroll.com. I think I saw it or it was, I think so. Okay.
Thank you, Rabbi.
But it's a big one. It's not a small one. Not small commentary. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. What else? Anybody else? Any questions or stop? Okay, no problem. So let's stop here. So let's please join us tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to continue this kosher kitchen. Thank you very much and good night. Thank you.